Welcome to another Howls and Growls post-game breakdown. Today we're talking about how Minnesota's defense fell flat on its face against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We've spent a lot of time talking about Minnesota's defensive excellence this season, and rightly so, but this was a really poor night on that end for them, and OKC made them pay with some fantastic offense. The Thunder scored 132.2 points per 100 possessions in this game, which is the second worst defensive performance the Timberwolves have produced so far this season, and it ranks in just the 10th percentile for all games played across the entire season so far. Perhaps even worse, the Thunder finished the game with a 71.1 effective field goal percentage, the worst of the season for Minnesota, and a number that ranks in the first percentile this season. Again, it was both great offense and really bad defense, so let's take a look at how it went wrong for Minnesota. Right away, you get a look at what's going to be a consistent issue with switching. Shea sets this screen here, which should easily switch Gobert and McDaniels, but they bungle that. Cat's low man help isn't here, and Holmgren gets an easy dunk. So the main issues at play here in this game are going to be those switches, that low man recognition, and then the off-ball awareness for Minnesota. And this is what I'm talking about when I say that off-ball awareness. Holmgren is getting to work here, and Mike Conley comes to double, but there's no cognizance of his man cutting through here when he turns his head here, and then the low man help isn't coming down here as well. It's a nice read from Chet, and an easy bucket for Giddey. This really is the stuff the Timberwolves have been getting right over and over again so far this season. Again, when Gobert is out here trying to stop this two-man game, Towns has to be rotating down here to help protect the rim. There might be a kick-out three there, but nobody wants to give up open looks at the rim like this and let the team stroll into a rhythm like OKC did in this game. And don't get me wrong, I am loving the way OKC are moving without the ball and pushing the pressure points of Minnesota's defense, but these are things that this number one ranked defense considers the basics, and they just aren't doing them in this game. So here the Thunder set this back screen on the curl here, and it's gotta be a switch. McDaniels doesn't recognize that, and Dort ends up standing underneath the basket for another really easy bucket, coming off some sweet offensive action. Again, are they switching or are they staying here? Gobert and Cat need to talk this out, but they end up messing it up instead. Someone needs to get back out here to Jalen Williams. Instead, they both linger in no man's land, and these buckets seem to be getting easier and easier, and we're only 5 minutes into the game. So Minnesota are going to change it up and try some zone to stem the tide, but it's going to get even worse for them. When the ball swings to the wing, Naz Reid has to get up here and take away the wing three. Towns might have to bust a lung to X out to the corner, but Reid can't try and hedge in the gap here because that's going to give up that wide open three. And I really do mean that. If you don't sell out to stop the first open shot, the Thunder are going to make that shot. This is the same zone, the same spot on the floor, and once again Reid is standing here between two players rather than trusting that Towns can get out here and help him. That just means he's leaving Isaiah Joe wide open, and Joe is one of the most deadly shooters in the league right now. Same hesitation from the defense, same result for the offense. If we're being honest, I'm not entirely sure what Reid is doing in this game. Right here he kicks Mike Conley out of the paint, which is a good idea, but then he chases out there anyway, leaving his man under the rim here. Towns is in his own world again, and it's another remarkably easy 2 points in the paint for the Thunder. OKC shot 18 of 20 in the paint for this game, which is crazy, but it's easy to see why when you watch some of these possessions. So now they're overcommitting. When SGA starts rumbling downhill here, both Towns and Gobert dig down to take it away. Only one of those guys needed to rotate, so that's going to free up the corner, and Shea is going to find that open man if you give it to him on a platter. There was just so much miscommunication in this game, and OKC feasted on it every single time. Again, Minnesota is in zone, but somebody has to talk and somebody has to rotate. Either Gobert needs to get up out here, or McDaniels needs to get there himself. They choose instead to watch on, and Chet calmly walks into a one-pass possession triple. We've watched a ton of half-court mistakes so far, but the Thunder are also pretty great in transition and they found life pretty easy in this one. They force one of many turnovers here, they're out and running, and the cross-matching kills Minnesota. Alexander Walker comes off Dort all the way over here, even though Reed and Edwards are already on that side of the floor, and that leaves Dort wide open running the flank. He was on a heater in this game, so that's way too much space to afford him. Again, it's more of a semi-transition kind of possession here, and SGA is a road runner in these situations. Towns isn't making any low man rotations like this one, he's not even really watching here, and that means Shea is burning Kyle Anderson and then waltzing in for the layup again. So we're going to see one more droplet of misery here, and it's the Thunder going to that Spain League action that they go to. You get Dort setting this ball screen and Joe setting the back screen here, but Shea rejects the ball screen and Joe leaks out to the 3-point line. That leaves Jordan McLaughlin standing here in SGA's path, but he leaves that post and follows Joe instead of stopping the ball, and that gives Gilgeous-Alexander another super easy layup. Again, it's a ton of respect to OKC for carving up the best rated defense in the league, but there's no denying this was an awful outing for that very same defense. It's also something we just haven't seen a lot of this season, so I am intrigued to see whether this is going to become more of a trend or whether OKC really just caught Minnesota on a really off night. Thanks again for watching Howls and Growls. Please subscribe for more.